Good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is Paul Flynn, McGittowRadio.com and McGittowFilms.org for the 28th of January 2016. Just want to do a quick vlog on a story that just came up on my Facebook about Transspeciesm, or whatever you want to call it. It just shows the absolute insane logic, but this is the same logic that has been used by those people, and I certainly have a lot of sympathy for them, as I would with any sinner who is in the bondage of their own sin and hold the truth of God in righteousness, as Romans 1:18 talks about. But it's become so insane now that people who claim to be a lizard or a parrot, and now the story today is this woman, I don't know what country it's from. It looks like it's from Norway or something like that. It's played in a second. Who believes that she is a cat. Louderwithcrowder.com has a story out here. It says, it talks about the olden days where, she believes she's a cat. Sometimes you just left in unbelief. I covered in another vlog before about the man, 52-year-old man, transgender. It's a 52-year-old man who believes he's a little girl. And it was a time when, even in, I'm not talking about the Christian world or anything like that, but that would be just seen as delusional. But we are so politically correct, you can't even point out the fact that this is a 52-year-old man who is not a 6-year-old girl, but there are people on the left who believe. But anyway, not today, but recently, I don't know, this video's been out a couple of days, this woman believes she's a cat. I'm just going to play a small little bit of it.
Jeg Nano, 20 år. Jeg har vært katt hele livet. Jeg fant ut at jeg var katt når jeg var 16 år, da leger og psykologer fant ut hva
When doctors and psychologists found out that was the thing with me. Oh, man, no, seriously. How were they able to keep their jobs? Anyway, so basically, I don't know if this is true. I'm just taking a word for it, but seriously, they all need to be. It's just insane. I don't even know how to comment on this sometimes. It's not anything new, but it's the same logic, the Caitlyn Jenners and all this kind of Bruce Jenner or whatever, that people, I'm really a girl. No, you're a guy. If facial hair grows on your face when you hit puberty, if you have the parts of a man, you are a man. If you have a parts of an automobile, you're a car. It's, are we all losing our minds? But this is, again, it's the law of God's written in our hearts. We've been created in the image of God, but fallen man, holds the truth and righteousness. This is a repression that we've been created in the image of God, and there's various ways people do this. But I'm not saying that this is anything new, but that it is embraced in this way has to be new. I'm not aware of any time in history where this has been seen before, but this woman believes she's a cat. And this is, again, not anything new. The story of a man, what's his name? Ted Richards. Ted Richards, he's from somewhere in England. It's from the Daily Mail, this picture on the screen in front of you. And he wants to look like a parrot. Saw a story years ago, the guy doing all this modification, cut his tongue open and all this kind of stuff. And it is just, but it's the same logic that leads to the transgender community. Same logic. They believe they are something, so therefore they have to make what's inside in their brain come into reality. It's astonishing, but it's the same thought. And there was a poll done on, can't remember it wasn't the Daily Mail, it was actually Telegraph, one of the polls anyway, and it was, give you three options. one of the options was, okay, you disapprove of it and it's disgusting and it's revolting. And that was 37%, 2,000 people agreed with me, the one I picked. And a small amount of people thought it was great, but the vast majority of people said, oh, what's it got to do with me? It doesn't matter. About 50, I don't know, it's 56, 57%. Most people are like, well, as long as it doesn't affect me. But there's a new form of morality coming in. It's not peace and tolerance and acceptance. That's a complete lie and a sham. Countries like Sweden and all this kind of stuff, this set up as the kind of socialist utopia for leftists to kind of look towards and emulate, it's all a complete lie. Because if you disagree with them, you're the new fascist bigots and Islamophobes and all this kind of thing. You cannot mention the truth nowadays. It's tragic and sad. How do we deal with this? We deal with this with the gospel. We deal with this. This is not a sociological problem. This is the hatred of God. This is the depravity of man, holding the truth, repressing the truth, and sadly, these people's hearts are becoming more and more hardened that God has given them over to their own delusions. And this is a judgment of God. May we pray that they will be delivered from their own folly. This has been Paul Flynn. May God bless you all.